Wait, the next day, December 10th. What? At some point, I gotta figure out the actual dates. I didn't wake up until evening had arrived. No, wait. Oh god, what is wrong with this calendar system? I can't tell if it's the calendar system or localization, because the calendar system is actually a bit fucked up, because sometimes you can get 2 months in a year. Don't ask me how. Apparently it's so. I must have been more tired than I thought. It was nearly time for the night shift to begin, so I leapt into my clothes and dashed out of my room. Okita.
Nani?
Do you know where Kondo-san is? I went to check up on him and I didn't see him.
大阪の松本先生のところに行ったんだって。
Matsumoto sensei.
その間、タイの指揮権は土方さんが預かることになるみたい。とりあえず、松本先生が見てくれるんなら、心配はいらないかな。いろいろと口うるさいことを言われるけど、腕は確かだし。
Gets on your case? Okita, that's not it. He's very worried about your health.
それはよくわかってるけど、口うるさいのは本当じゃない。
It looked as if Okita had calmed down, but only the day before he'd run off all on his own. I had to keep up my guard. No sooner had I spoken than a gunshot shattered the night air. I saw Okita's jaws clench. Okita! No! I rushed to stop Okita, but several more gunshots went off in succession, almost as if they were provoking us.
ごめん。
He dashed by me and ran off towards the sound of gunfire. God fucking damn it, Okita! Okita! I ran after him. My voice is very raspy today.
どうして追いかけてくるのさ。危険だから奉行所で待ってなよ。
Well, it's because I'm worried about you, Okita. Because I was worried about you, Okita.
僕は君に心配されなきゃならないほど弱くはないんだけど。確かにちょっと前までは病気で寝込んでたけど、今は違うし。
I understand that, but just know, I was worried. I was sure my feelings were nothing but a burden for Okita. But that didn't mean I could just walk out on him either.
ほんと変な女の子だよね、君って。
Huh? I'd expected him to be sneering over me with a cold expression, but...
さっさと行くよ。銃声が聞こえた方に近藤さんの仇がいるかもしれないんだから。
Wait! My breaths were quick and staggered as we ran through the chilly Kyoto evening. It seems as though many civilians had been frightened from the sound of battle, so many homes were shut and locked. There were no signs of people anywhere.
あの人影はまさか。
Okita picked up something in his periphery, and he disappeared into the alleyway. I rushed to follow him.
久しぶりって言っていいのかな。近藤さんを撃ったのは君？
Okita brooded with a silent, murderous glare. As I looked to see at whom Okita was glaring... Kaoru!
どういう心境の変化だ。 この前会った時は敵を見るような目でこの俺を睨んでたくせに、この後に及んでカオルさんか。
Bitch, that's because it's your fucking name.
お前のそういうところに無性にイライラさせられるよ。
I bit my lip. It was Kaoru who tricked Okita into drinking the water of life, but he was still my brother. I knew he was not a good person, but Okita, on the other hand, seemed to have no such reservations.
さっきの質問に答えてくれるかな。それとも喋りたくなるようにさせてあげようか、この件で。
やれやれ、証拠もないくせに俺を疑うの。これだから人間ってやつは。そういえばちょうどあの日だったかな、五両絵師の残党にあったよ。
See, I don't trust shit that comes out of your mouth, Kaoru! Guardians of the Imperial Tomb?
彼ら騙し討ちにされた伊藤の恨みをどうしても晴らしたいんだって。けど奉行所に討ち入っても仇討ちを成功させる公算は低いって言ってたから、街道に張り込んでみたらとは助言してあげた覚えがあるな。
Then, you...
誤解しないでくれる？別に悪気はなかったんだよ。
I think I know what you actually intended.
新選組局長ともあろう人間がまさかあんなに好きだらけだとはさすがに思わなかったからね。
この
Okita snarled, and I saw his body tense to attack. So did Kaoru, and with another cruel grin, he snapped his fingers. From the shadows, men suddenly appeared. Huh? Okita and I stood for a moment, stunned by surprise, and Kaoru took the opportunity to put some distance between us.
ずいぶんわかりやすい罠だな。
負け犬の遠吠えかい？いいよ、好きなだけ吠えてれば。どうせお前たちの命は風前の灯火なんだから。
Both of them wore cynical, twisted grins. They glared at one another. I inched my hand toward my sword. I didn't know how much I'd be able to do, but I wouldn't go down without a fight.
だけど相手は新選組の沖田総司だ。銃で狙ってもなかなか当たらないだろうね。
Why was Kaoru doing this? What could he be thinking?
悪いけどその遠回しな喋り方、いちいち勘に触るんだよね。言いたいことがあるなら単刀直入に言ってくれる？
別にお前と話してるわけじゃないよ。弱いやつから狙った方が楽かもねって倒幕派の皆さんに提案してるだけ。
As he spoke, I suddenly realized all the guns were pointed towards me.
大した性格の悪さだね。どうすればそんな卑劣な手が浮かぶわけ？
なんとでも言えば。
The guns exploded with noise. No! If we were this surrounded, there was no way the both of us could dodge them all. Something blocked my vision. No. Suddenly, he was standing in front of me. All of the bullets that would have hit me were taken by him. Okita! Why? Why would you do that? I was speechless. Blood was already beginning to pour from his body. The sight of him tattered and bullet holes tore my heart apart, but he'd endured the pain, turning around to look at me.
どこも痛くない？
No, no, I'm fine. You took them all.
そっか。ならいいんだ。
He smiled out of relief. He wavered, then collapsed to the ground in a heap. Okita! Oh no, here I gotta scream again. Okita! Okita! So he could get horribly wounded, but as long as I wasn't hurt, it was okay? It's not okay. It's not okay at all! I felt my vision start to blur, and I realized suddenly that I was crying. My voice broke as I tried to speak. If you get hurt, that makes me sad too! It kills me to see you hurt, just as much as it kills you to see Kondo-san hurt! I kept calling his name, but he didn't answer. He was still breathing, but each breath drew a pain groan from his chest. Okita! If it were just shallow wounds from the bullets, then it shouldn't be too serious, but if his vital organs were hurt, then his life would undoubtedly be in danger. It was only then that I heard Kaoru's laughter.
抜けだな。まあ、起きたならかばうと思ってたけどね。
You. The blood drained from my face. You were trying to shoot him the whole time, weren't you?
どうだろうね。どっちにせよ、誰かさんを守ったせいで起きたは重傷だ。こんな役立たずをかばって怪我をするなんて、とんだバカもいたもんだね。
I couldn't believe what I was hearing, but I had no rebuttal. If I hadn't been there, then Okita wouldn't have been hurt. He never would have been shot, and he might have been able to fight his way out of Kaoru's trap. But I had been there, and now he was dying, and it was all my fault. Kaoru's smile was suddenly gone.
もっと苦しめばいいよ。
At Kaoru's signal, the men drew back.
お前も起きたもそう簡単には殺さない。殺してやらない。可愛い妹と次に会える日が今から楽しみでたまらないよ。
Damn you! The words were out of my mouth before I realized I was saying them. Kaoru turned to look over his shoulder at me and smiled.
その顔、その声。絶望と怒りを知れば知るほど、お前の顔は俺に似ていくよ。血のつながりっていうのもバカにできないな。
With one last horrible smile, Kaoru and his men disappeared into the night. After what seemed like an eternity, I heard the murmur of voices. It was the Shinsengumi soldiers who'd been sent out to investigate the gunshots. We carried the barely conscious Okita back to the magistrate's office together.
沖田君は銃撃を受けたのですか？たとえ最新型の連発銃を使っていようと、羅刹はその程度で死なないはずですが。
They probably had those revolvers, I realize. Each man had fired off several shots without reloading.
銃による傷はいかに深くとも小さな傷に過ぎません。銃弾さえ摘出できれば見る間に回復するはずです
が。But why won't Okita wake up then?
わかりません。敵方が持っていた銃に何か秘密があるのか、もしくは。
We kept tending to his scars. But Okita's wounds weren't healing. He'd fallen into unconsciousness and continued bleeding even after the bullets were removed. Hijikata-san called me into his room.
よう、悪いな、呼び出しちまって。
It's fine.
実はな、三男さんとも相談して、宗司の身柄を大阪城に移すことになったんだ。
Osaka Castle?
ああ、大阪城には松本先生もいるし、ここよりは道具も揃ってるだろうからな。
I wanted so badly to be by Okita's side, but I knew that I needed to tend to the wounded here, including Yamazaki. If I leave Okita to Matsumoto-sensei, I think everything will be alright. As I turned these thoughts over in my mind.
雪村、お前も宗司と一緒に大阪へ行け。
What? I wasn't expecting this. My eyes grew wide. I can go with Okita?
なんだ、不服なのか？
No, it's not that at all. I was just wondering why though.
今日はもうすぐ戦場になる。ここにいると、お前も巻き込まれるかもしれねえからな。何より、宗司のやつをほっとくと、何をやらかすかわからねえだろう。
Hijikata-san. I almost cried. I was so thankful for him. I could still be with Okita. Thank you. Thank you so much. I bowed deeply to Hijikata. On December 20th, I headed towards Osaka Castle with Okita. Yamazaki came with us to guard us. We had Matsumoto-sensei perform an initial examination on Okita, but his condition didn't improve. As a result, I'd had many sleepless nights. The new year passed, and it was January 3rd. Word came from the messenger that a battle had erupted between the shogunate forces and the Sacho troops. And then, we discovered how the end of the battle turned out before even the Shinsengumi was told. Okita, how do you feel? Hey, what are you doing?
何って決まってるじゃない。これからここで戦いが始まるんでしょ。なら僕も行かないと。
You can't! Please, you need to rest. You're in no condition to be up yet. Besides, even if you go now, I don't know what good you'll be able to do.
どういう意味？僕なんかじゃ役に立たないって言いたいの。
That's not what I mean. I wasn't sure if I had the courage to tell Okita what happened over the past few days. But if I were to avoid it, I was sure that Okita, whose wit often preceded him, would see right through me. I want you to remain calm as I tell you this. Despite the Shinsengumi's best efforts, the magistrate has fallen. And supposedly, Inoue was one of the lives lost in the ensuing battle.
ゲンさんが。
Hi. And the Supreme Commander, Lord Yoshinobu, has already departed for Edo. So it seems like we, too, will be heading for Edo aboard a ship. As the weight of the truth began to settle for Okita, it seems as though he struggled to speak. He powerlessly slumped on top of his bed.
So ゲンさん、亡くなったんだ。近藤さん、すごく悲しんでたでしょ。
Very much so. Okita held his head low, and he muttered to himself softly, almost like a one-way conversation.
僕は新選組の剣だったはずなのに。
Oh, that's still him. As he processed the news, he repeated this phrase. It almost felt as though he were lost in a trance, attempting to make meaning of a purpose for which he had worked his entire life.
もう一度刀を取って戦うために落ち水まで飲んだのに。結局肝心な時に役に立てないまま江戸に戻らなきゃならないなんて。
But it pained me to see Okita so broken-hearted, so I couldn't help but chime in. I wasn't sure if my words would be enough to resonate with him, but Okita, you protected me. Despite not being a member of the Shinsengumi, you risked your life to defend me. I'm very thankful for you. If you weren't there, Okita, I could have died. Besides, Hijikata-san and the rest of the men haven't given up yet. You said that when we return to Edo, we're going to make a huge comeback, and by then, I'm sure Kondo-san will be ready to go. Okita paused, scratching his chin in thought as he looked towards the ground.
そうだよね。あれだけ性格も諦めも悪い土方さんがこのままやられっぱなしのはずがないし、何より近藤さんから新選組を預かってるんだから、それぐらいはしてもらわないと。
At last, I sensed Okita was regaining his composure.
僕の刀を取ってくれるかな。
Before I did so, I stared into his eyes to check and make sure he seemed out of his slump. All right. I grabbed his sword, which was displayed upon a rack, and I handed it to Okita. However, when he'd held the sword in his hand, his tone reverted to the melancholy from earlier.
ねえ、僕はまだ新選組の剣でいられるかな。
His words inflicted a dull pain upon my heart. I could tell his mind was lingering on the thought of Kondo-san, as well as the Shinsengumi, which to Okita represented the wishes of Kondo-san himself. Okita couldn't separate himself from the idea that his own well-being and interests were nothing compared to those of whom he remained loyal. It was something I noticed about Okita. Yes, so please, rest for now. So don't worry. When the time comes for you to hold your sword, you'll be there.
わかった。君がそう言うんなら、江戸に戻るまではおとなしく養生するよ。江戸に戻った時、心置きなく刀を振るって、近藤さんの邪魔になるやつを、敵を、一人でも多く切り殺せるように。
I couldn't tell if his newfound motivation was out of extreme loyalty to Kondo-san, or if he'd even be willing to slash at his own body, should it not recover as we hope it will. Ultimately, it was his humanity I worried for most. Although, knowing Okita, he doesn't share the same fear. As the pain in my heart began to subside, I couldn't contain the tears which began welling in my eyes. And so, I had joined Okita on this journey back to Edo for whatever future was waiting for us on our return. January 1868. The Battle of Toba Fushimi ended with the Satsuman Choshu victorious. As the shogunate troops retreated, the Shinsengumi headed towards Edo. 4 years ago, I came to Kyoto all by myself in search for my father and met the Shinsengumi. I am going to leave the city of Kyoto, where I made fond memories with the Shinsengumi. Despite the defeat, his resolve didn't waver, and I have chosen to walk alongside him. We are going to head to Edo, without knowing what fate awaits us. One half of the story completed!